want to talk about something extremely important and something that's happening right now in our Congress and is a huge debate on the internet because it's about the idea of what the internet is in itself. I believe we are on the verge of losing what the internet is. It has gone this far since its inception 30 years ago as being void of any type of government oversight. Everything we enjoy, everything we've gotten based on free market forces, based on what consumers wanted, based on what providers were given incentive to do, based on what that consumer wanted. You know, everyone has gotten used to net neutrality, or that the network is free, the internet is free. Anything you put on the internet, anybody can see. This is a very valued principle that I think is already being safeguarded in current practices, and we don't need government oversight. The free market is the only place that this idea should be safeguarded. Government regulation will only add more grease to the fire, so to speak, of what is already in place. We need to keep government out. First off, somebody built the network. Somebody owns it. Verizon right now is spending $23 billion on building a faster internet so that you can get your video faster, you can share faster, so you can have a better online experience. Where's the money going to come from for them to build it? What's the incentive to actually go through and build this momentous project to bring you, the consumer, faster speeds? Well, quite frankly, it's the idea that they'll make a profit from it. There's no other reason to do it unless they're going to make money from it. It's very simple. You wouldn't work unless you got paid. It's an easy concept that we've all grown up with, that if government were to get in the way, we'd be stripped from these companies that have invested so much into it. Right now, the way they are funded is you decide how much speed you want, and that's what you pay for. It's pretty simple. Well, it's worked so far, but like I said, with Verizon spending so much more money on building better, faster networks, they need new ways of making money. And this would give priority service to certain types of data, most notably video. Because as video as it is now, it's not instant, it's not on demand. And the quality is very subpar, especially with what we see now with HDTV. Internet video is severely lacking. And only through being able to route traffic the way that would make it more efficient to view is the only way that we're going to get an idea of video on demand. Well, people are very afraid of this. They think if a corporation is able to control the content, that they won't get to see what they want to see. Well, this is not true, as Verizon's already stated that they will build a network with a lane for videos. We get great looking video. At the same time, we still have very capable download speeds of about 20 megabits of content we're already used to. Proposed legislature want to keep government or companies from doing this. They think if companies have their way, we will lose the idea of net neutrality. In particular, Senate Bill 2917, which was earlier this year voted down, would do just that. It would make extra money making services illegal on the internet. It would be stuck with what we're used to. That would retard the innovation and competition and services that we would only expect with a new technology getting faster and faster. It would be slowed down. There would be no innovation. There would be no reason. There would be no money in it. And to take a similar example, airline industry used to be very heavily regulated. In the late 70s, it was finally deregulated, and according to Alfred Kahn, an economist, we saw a 30% reduction in airfares. The consumer saw benefits of government deregulation. You used to spend $1,000 on an airline ticket, now you can spend $100 for a round-trip ticket. I mean, that's fantastic, only after deregulation. And for airlines, because there's less regulatory oversight, there now would be more efficient. There's less rules to jump through, less hoops. They can just do what they need to do to get the job done. And we see it through reduction in fares. Less government has proven very successful. And if we allow them to get inside the internet, what would we be giving up? Now, like I said, the solution is less government intervention, more free market forces. private property rights should be upheld. I mean, this is what our nation was founded upon. Everybody owns a piece of property. It is theirs to do what they want to do with. Private companies like Verizon who want to build this network, it's their network. They built it. They give us the ability to get on it, and we pay for that service. However, people are still afraid. If corporations are allowed to take away, the idea of an open internet, that they can filter out content, that we will no longer have this great internet, this open internet we have all gotten used to. But consumers forget they have a huge voting capacity with their wallets. If a certain ISP like Verizon decides, okay, we're not going to let you get the content that you used to, what are you likely to do? Go find someone who will. Verizon wouldn't put themselves in that situation. Why take away a benefit? Why take away a service? They're going to offer better services. They're going to offer better access to video, better online gaming experiences, because they'll give that type of information priority so that they become a much richer, fuller experience. Because as right now, that's not even close to coming to that. I mean, right now, the future is in your hands. The safeguard of the internet is in the hands here now. You decide. You can write your senator. Tell them, you know what, I don't need your help deciding how I want my internet. I can do just fine on my own. This has been, tenet to our nation since it was inception. Personal responsibility. You can make your best decision for what you want. Private companies, with what they want, can make the best decisions for them to stay in business. It's how we all get along in the free market. If left to government, think about what can happen. There's an agency called the FCC, Federal Communications Committee. They regulate TV and radio. There are things you can't do. There are things you can't say on radio and TV. It's because there's a government oversight. We want to see the same thing happen to the internet. Don't let it. You can make it happen. Finally, again, it is up to you that net neutrality is preserved. The free market that we already have is the only way and guaranteed way to keep this alive. Leave the government out of it. Thank you.